Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. I will call this Thursday, July 17th, Finance Committee to order. At this time, I will yield the floor to Chairman Keller.
Thank you, Mayor. Good evening, everybody. Item 1 for our consideration this evening is consideration of a resolution authorizing the mayor and the city clerk treasurer to sign a lease agreement with Russellville Playhouse for 210 South Boulder Avenue and for other purposes. I've been asked if we could open this up for discussion, so make a motion for discussion.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed. Discussion is now open.
Could we have somebody from Playhouse to come up and speak?
Do we, we have a contract ready for them to sign.
Right, but I got a call today from two folks from the Playhouse that said they had been trying to make an appointment with the city and had not gotten an appointment and did not know this was even going to be on the agenda tonight. And
May I ask who you called?
Yeah, I called the city attorney's secretary. I called last Thursday, and I called again this Tuesday, asking for a meeting to discuss. I'm John Pistone.
Okay, yeah. Okay. So you haven't tried to call my office?
No,
I was just clarifying if you called my
no.
office.
No. I per the last meeting, the instructions were that we were to get together with the city attorney and come up with a possible contract.
Okay.
We didn't even know this was happening. Had JP not bumped
Okay.
into you this morning, we wouldn't even know this was going on. So we're a little taken back by this on why we weren't included in the process yet. So that's was my question.
Okay.
Is one, I thought we were supposed to be consulted on a contract, and we haven't received any return calls from the city attorney. And then the other thing is if in the future, if there's a decision made about the Playhouse, we'd like to at least know about it. So.
Haven't seen the contract, the proposed contract.
Haven't heard anything.
Let's table it so that they can review it. Motion to
Yeah.
table.
Okay. Can I?
Let me just make one thing clear. I had talked to the mayor about this last week and told him that I'm the attorney for the city and he could discuss it with this gentleman here. And that's, my instructions were just draw something up. If he wants to negotiate, he can do so with the mayor.
Okay. Let me clarify. My intentions were for this contract to be on this so that we could sign that if they were good with that. And so you can still move this forward, and if they're good with this contract, then they can sign it. And if they have any issue with it, then they can come back. I don't know where they're going. It was in your packet, so I don't know if any of you had any issue with it at all. It's just a pretty standard contract with a build out, but the intention was never to. It has to go before you before it can go before them. So, and I'm not saying anything against you, Mr. Pistone.
No,
but I'm just saying the council has to agree on the contract before. It doesn't matter what you and I say. They're the ones that allow me to sign a contract. And so that was my intentions, is for you to be able to say, yes, this contract is good for this this entity to sign. And if you have an attorney that wants to come back and make some different modifications, then your attorney could come back.
But that's different than what was said at the last city council meeting. If you look at the last city council meeting, the notes were that we were to get together with the attorney and jointly come up with a contract. Those were your instructions.
I apologize. I don't remember.
Those were
I don't
your
remember. I
instructions.
don't remember that. So I'd have to go back and look at that. And I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that you're not
So
right.
that's
I'm
what-
just saying that's not my recollection, and I'd be happy to go back and look at that.
That was our position, so that's what we tried to do,
Yeah.
and that's why we didn't know
Yeah.
what was going
So-
on.
Okay,
So
and
we
I
were told
apologize.
that was the process.
Mr. Smith did just as he said. Mr. Smith, I gave him a build-out schedule. He entered into writing up a contract for the city's purposes. So Mr. Smith did not do anything that he wasn't supposed to. So like I say, if you guys want to table it, that's fine. Or if you want to just move it forward so that if Mr. Pistone does agree with the contract, then we would be able to move forward without tabling it till next month.
I still have a question regarding that. So we don't get any input into it before it's created? Is that what you're saying? That that our input only comes after the city creates a contract? Just so I'm clear, because it's different than what we were told last city council. So we're trying to get So we can manage our expectations moving forward. So you're telling me that, if I'm wrong, please let me know, that you guys create a contract, you give it to us, and then it's up to us to either sign or agree with? Can we not have input into how that's structured before? Like the terms and all that stuff?
So-
Do we have any input into that?
Here's the best way I can describe it. There is a contract at this point in time. If they say yes, and you agree with that contract, then you can sign that contract tomorrow. If you say no, then you can bring your attorney, and then you can negotiate the terms of those contracts. So yes, then you have that you have that ability to make those, to request those modifications, but then that has to come back before the council. My thing is, in just my opinion, is there's nothing wrong with moving this contract forward, because if it is acceptable to you, then you sign the contract tomorrow and then we're going. If it's not acceptable to you, then you go back, and we could be, I mean, you may be September, October, however long it takes to work back and forth, if that makes sense. Because that contract is approved tonight does not mean that you have to sign it. That just means that the 8 people, well, the 7 people up here, there's 6. There's the 6 people up here approve that contract for the city, and they allow me to sign it. But if that does not work, then you have the ability to modify that.
Okay, it's just different than what was said last time, that's
Okay,
all. So.
I will go back and look at that and see. I don't remember having that. I don't remember that statement, and I will go back and look at that. And if that was the case, I will be happy to apologize. So, Mr. Olson, you have something?
Yeah, I was going to say, considering they haven't even looked at the contract yet, I don't feel like pigeonholing them, so I would make a motion to table this to the next meeting.
And then,
We do have a motion and a second on the floor to table. Is there any further discussion on this, or is that even?
I mean, I would like to say, if people, if you would like the opinion of the city attorney, I think you are well within your right to ask that, and to discuss with him. I mean, and have your attorney talk. You are well within the right to have those discussions, and so I think.
Well, how do we make that happen?
Yeah, well,
That's my question.
calling the city attorney and setting a meeting, those are things that that need to happen, if that's what you guys would like to do. And it would be nice for us to be included in that conversation with some form of documentation at some level before preferably before the meeting.
I think if I'm understanding what the city attorney and mayor were saying just a second ago, that the procedure would actually be to contact the mayor and to hammer out the details with the mayor, because the role of the city attorney in this situation is to draft it per the instructions of the mayor, which would then be hammered out, the details between the chief executive of the city and the interested party, in this case, Russellville Playhouse. So that's just from a procedural standpoint, that's the way I understand that it would work.
Sure, yeah. If that's the way that the procedure has to be, then that's the way it has to be. I don't want it to seem like there's any, we've entered into this
Sure.
with you guys because we liked what it is that you were hoping to provide.
Yes, sir.
And I want that to be a positive relationship for everyone involved.
Yeah, as do
So,
we.
yeah.
As do we.
That's-
So if I'm clear,
understood.
we set a meeting with the mayor to hammer out the details, and then he'll pass it on to the city attorney. So that should be our next step.
yes.
Okay.
Because when we entered into this, that's my understanding, because we liked what you did, as you just said, and we're entering into partnership, so I think it should be a lot of give and take
Agreed.
between us, because we want you to succeed, because if you succeed, the city does. And by the way, your first production that you did was amazing, so there's 2 more shows tomorrow and Saturday. If you haven't gone, it's hilarious. It's at the Depot at 8 o'clock.
8 o'clock and 9:15 are the
Yeah,
shows. Yeah.
2 shows each night, so it's a
Weather permitting.
different play on Peter Pan and Captain Hook. That'll make you laugh a lot.
Thank you.
So negotiating contracts, I do this every day, and it's a Word document that tracks changes, and you can see everybody's comments and everybody's changes back and forth when the document's done. I don't know why we can't get to that point now. I mean, we have a blank document, or a written document now. We pass it to them. They redline it and send it back. I mean, and at the end, we can all review all the different changes that were made back and forth. It's a pretty simple thing, I thought, but is that not the way this is supposed to go?
Yeah, who are we asking?
Anybody, the attorney, the mayor, anybody here.
Like I said, I told the mayor last week that Mr. Custodian called me and that since I was the attorney for the city and he was the person, the day-to-day person, he needed to talk to him, and I left it at that. And I said it was ready, and it could be shared, and I incorporated what the mayor wanted me to.
Okay.
And all of y'all have it in your packets, and you can share it if you want to. But I did it last week, and I thought things would get done after I told them
Yeah.
the city would handle it.
And my intentions were for you guys to okay the contract. And if I'm wrong in that, then I'm wrong in that. Because we can't enter into a contract without you guys saying we can enter into a contract. And so at that point in time, if you're happy with this, or if you have any situations that you're not happy with the contract, then you can come and say, hey, I don't like this, I don't like this, and then we can go back to the table. So I can't include 8 different individuals in that conversation throughout the week, because the only time we're going to be able to do this is in a public forum like this. So if we want to have, I'll be happy to have a meeting and we'll sit down and talk about the contract if that's what Mr. George wants, because Mr. George mentioned that he, if we're talking about a contract, then we can I'll be happy to have a work session. We'll sit down and work out that contract on what that looks like. Also on tonight's agenda, you have a contract with Mr. Frankhouse that I'm going to get to sign. So do we need to include you on that? But that's what you're asking me, Mr. George. And I'm not trying to be that guy, but you're.
With Mr. Frankhouse, we've had lots of back and forth and lots of information.
But we haven't had any back and forth on a contract, no. And so that's where I'm at. So you tell me.
We set some of the terms of what it would be. What the council said, we do not want this to drag on. We've had a timeline.
But you weren't in on that. You don't know the numbers. You don't know the timeline of that. And so that's my question. And if that's what you want, I'll be happy to do that. I'm here to do that. But at the same token, my intentions tonight were for you to be able to look at a contract. If you and I'm fine with us tabling that. Mr. Pistone can get that contract, and we can go from there. But my intentions were not to pigeonhole him in any way. My intentions were, if you guys were good with the contract, he could sign it and we could go forward. Other than that, I'm good. I'm completely good with tabling it. But go ahead.
At the end of the day, I feel the way this should work is you negotiate as on behalf of the city back and forth, and you present us something that y'all have mutually agreed on, and then we can decide if we want to take it. Not us get something that is one-sided and then present it to them. That's the way I see it, but that may be one of 8.
Okay. All right. So we'll table it and we'll have some conversation.
Yeah,
I'm good with that.
I'm not upset in your, this is all, this is a new thing that we're doing. So like, I think that I just, I saw the email whenever we were sent the email and it had it in the packet. But if we had some details prior so that we could, comment, I would love that, but it's
Can
not
I ask
necessary.
this?
Yeah.
Has anyone read the contract?
I have.
So were there problems with the contract?
Not from me, but I
personally, I don't know, but the first thing I thought was like, has the Playhouse seen this? And they got a call from John Paul and then from Mr. Pistone, and they didn't know what was in it. And I said, well, it's a pretty quick timeline, starts right now. And their position was, once the clock starts ticking, then they've got to get to work. But this starts the clock tonight. They weren't prepared for this.
Well, it starts the clock when they sign it. It
Okay,
didn't
but if
start
we
tonight.
approve
But
it-
and the thing, Mr. Pistone has given us a timeline anywhere from 9 months to 18 months to 24 months, and I gave them we looked at an 18-month timeline on that, which I felt like Mr. Pistone has said, and we went off of what Mr. Pistone had said in multiple meetings in trying to do that timeline. So
I understand that, but they haven't seen it. It just felt like this was supposed to be an agreement between two entities decided, hey, we're going to do something together. And it just, I took from it that's what would happen.
Okay.
Y'all would sit down and get a starting point, But they didn't even know this was happening tonight. And if John Paul hadn't run into you today, they wouldn't even be here.
Mr. Spone, I'll be happy to meet with you at your earliest convenience, and we'll talk this over, due to the fact that we're tabling this, and we'll go from there.
Yeah, we want, obviously, I mean, we're not angry, we're just kind of caught off guard, and we would like all of this to be a collaborative process, because we're entering a partnership, and this is a new undertaking, and so there's gonna be a learning curve for everybody, I assume.
Yeah. All right,
So,
thank you.
Thank you.
Is that good with everyone?
What is next month's finance committee date? 8.
Are we? Oh, we are changing. Yeah, I know that you didn't write that down.
If not, I know we'll get it. I was just checking.
Yeah, oh yeah, I'll meet with Mr. Pistone as soon as tomorrow if he wants to, so.
Sure.
We have a motion to table item 1 on the floor. All those in favor of tabling item 1, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, please say nay. Item 1 is tabled. Item 2 is consideration of an ordinance amending ordinance numbers 2437 and 2487, which previously established an ambulance fee schedule for the city of Russellville to provide a discount to all self-pay patients without insurance if their bill is paid in full. Sponsored by the fire department. Move we forward item 2 to the full council with a recommendation of approval.
Second.
Is there any discussion on item 2? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Item 2 is forwarded. Item 3 is consideration of a resolution approving a release agreement and authorizing the mayor and the city clerk treasurer to enter a release agreement with Phoenix Innovation Incorporated for any and all future claims arising from the installment sale contract for the purchase of real property, sponsored by the city attorney. Move we forward item 3 to the full council with a recommendation of approval.
Second.
Any discussion on item 3? So we'll get everything hammered out. Okay.
So is Phoenix good with the,
Are you? We're good, she's got a thumbs up. No, if you're good. Yeah.
Okay, any other further discussion on item 3? All those in favor of forwarding item 3 to the full council with recommendation of approval, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Item 3 is forwarded. Item 4 is consideration of a reimbursement request for the second quarter expenses for the Boys and Girls Club in the amount of $17,953.44. Move we forward item 4 to the full council with a recommendation of approval.
Second.
Is there any discussion on item 4?
Is this less than normal?
That may be the only billable expenses that they have in
Okay.
this timeframe. would
Gotcha.
be. It is less than what they would normally request, but I believe it's probably the only billable expenses. Who's our liaison to them, to
Joe?
Mr. Pearson? Do you know anything other on this?
Not really, but like you said, I think it's just what was available for this time frame. And I think in the past, they've had some overage just for the time frame, but not for the actual
Right.
year.
And they make up
So
for it
it's
at
just-
other
it's
times
just
of
how it
year.
falls
Yeah.
out.
And I think you're without a director at this point in time, correct? Because Ms. Gibbons had given her notice, so yeah, so maybe something there. There may be something related to that, but
Yeah, true.
I think, yes.
Okay.
Is there any further discussion on item 4? Hearing none, all those in favor of forwarding item 4 to the full council, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Item 4 is forwarded. Item 5 is consideration of an ordinance approving the private club permit for Apple Hop R Incorporated and allowing the application of the required permits for the Arkansas Alcoholic Beverage Control Division per Arkansas Code annotated section 3-9-222 as amended. Move we forward item 5 to the full council with a recommendation of approval.
Second.
Any discussion on item 5?
Who is Apple Hopper?
IHOP will be closing and renovating, and there will be an Applebee's IHOP
Oh,
combination.
okay.
So
Oh,
it will be
cool.
the only second one in the United States.
All right. Apple Hopper. That's an interesting name. Yeah.
All those in favor of forwarding item 5 to the full council with a recommendation of approval, say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, say nay. Item 5 is forwarded. Item 6, consideration of an ordinance amending fiscal code to raise the minimum fixed asset threshold from $2,500 to $5,000. This is submitted by the Finance Department. Move we forward item 6 to the full council with a recommendation of approval.
Second.
Okay, any discussion on item 6?
What brought this forward?
We're buying things that are, you say, let's hypothetically say a laptop for a police cruiser, and its life expectancy is not very long, and it's got over a $2,500 price tag, and we're trying to get, it's hard to get rid of things that we have those asset tags on, and so we're just trying to, due to inflation, we're trying to raise that level to $5,000 because there's things that are disposable, that maybe $2,500 wasn't disposable 5-10 years ago, but now unfortunately things are $2,500 and they're disposable. So basically, that's one good example.
Is there any other discussion on item 6? Hearing none, all those in favor of forwarding item 6 to the full council, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, say nay. Item 6 is forwarded. Item 7 is consideration of an ordinance amending the fiscal code, amending the fixed asset code, and to add a removal process for fixed assets which depreciate below their minimum threshold value as set by the fiscal code, also sponsored by the Finance Department. Move we forward item 7 to the full council with a recommendation of approval.
Second.
Any discussion on item 7? Is this kind of the same thing?
Basically, I'm going to have to sign off on the removal, then it'll have to come before council for approval, is my understanding. So, any assets that will be removed.
Is there any other discussion on item 7? Hearing none, all those in favor of forwarding item 7 to the full council with a recommendation of approval, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, say nay. Item number 7 is forwarded. Item 8 is an appropriation from the 2021 Parks and Rec Special Fund in the sum of $456,930.60 to be used to fund the construction of ADA restrooms and additional skate features at the Russellville Skate Park. Moving forward, item 8 to the full council with a recommendation of approval.
Second.
Any discussion on item 8?
How big a bathroom is this?
Oh, no, that's the skate park and the bathroom. No, the bathroom is not that price. No, you're like, wow, that's a nice bathroom. No, that is the improvements to the skate park and the bathroom. I believe the bathroom came in at $180,000, if I remember, right at approximately the $180,000 is what the bathroom came in.
It's great, Joe. They got gold-plated toilets,
No,
water fountains.
And we got stainless steel toilets, not gold plated.
There's skate features in the bathroom.
Yes, sir.
It's got a half pine.
Doing a
with
360
rail.
half
There is a
pipe in
rail.
Yeah.
There is a rail. So no. So,
Is there any other discussion on item 8? Hearing none, all those in favor of forwarding item 8 to the full council, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, say nay. Item 8 is forwarded. And last item on our list for this evening is item 9, which is an appropriation from the 2021 Parks and Rec Special Fund Reserves in the amount of $122,489.50 to purchase a new pavilion for Washburn Park. I move we forward item 9 to the full council with a recommendation of approval.
Second.
Any discussion on item 9? Hearing none, item 9, or all those in favor of forwarding item 9 to the full council with a recommendation of approval, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, say nay. Item 9 is forwarded. Mayor, I yield the chair back to you.
we will adjourn and we'll reconvene at 6 p.m. for full council. Meeting adjourned.